Have you ever stopped in the middle of a sentence and thought, wait, should I say speak or talk? You know both words. You have seen them many times. But in real life, your mind freezes. Welcome back to Learn English Podcast 360. Today, we're going to make speak and talk feel simple, natural, and easy to use in real conversation. No heavy grammar, no stress, just real-life English. Let's start. Why this confuses so many learners. Speak and talk look very similar. Both mean using your voice. Both are about communication, and both are common in daily English. So, why do so many learners feel nervous about them? Because even though the meaning is close, the feeling is different. And English is not only about meaning, it is about feeling. Many learners tell me, I understand when I read, but when I speak, I panic. Maybe you feel the same way. When you are reading, you have time. When you are listening, you can relax. But when you open your mouth, suddenly your brain asks, speak or talk. Speak or talk. And that small moment of doubt can stop your sentence. But here's the truth. This confusion does not mean your English is bad. It means you care. It means you want to sound natural. Today, we're going to slow everything down and connect these two words to real-life moments. Not grammar rules, not long definitions, just situations you already know. Because confidence is more important than perfection. If you understand the feeling of these words, you will not need to memorize rules. You will simply feel what sounds right. The core difference. Let's begin with one very simple idea. Speak feels more formal and more one direction. Talk feels more relaxed and more two direction. When we use speak, we often focus on the act of using your voice. When we use talk, we focus more on sharing with someone. Now, let's make this real. Imagine a teacher standing in front of a class. She is explaining a lesson. She speaks to the students. The students mostly listen. Now, imagine two friends sitting at a coffee shop. They laugh, share stories, ask questions, listen, and answer. They talk for hours. Feel the difference? In the first situation, one person is leading. In the second situation, both people are sharing. One sounds more official. One sounds more personal. That is the heart of the difference. Speak often feels more formal, more focused, and sometimes more serious. Talk often feels warmer, more friendly, and more equal. Keep this simple feeling in your mind as we go deeper. When to use speak. Now let's clearly understand when we use speak in real life. First, we use speak for languages. This is very important. We say, I speak English, she speaks Spanish, and do you speak Japanese? We do not say, I talk English. Why? Because here, speak is about ability. It answers the question, can you use this language? If someone asks you, do you speak English? They are asking about your skill. They are not asking if you are having a conversation right now. They are asking if you have the ability. So, remember this clearly. When you talk about languages, use speak. Second, we use speak in formal situations. For example, the manager will speak at the meeting, the president will speak tonight, or she spoke to the team about the new plan. These situations feel serious, official, or public. Imagine a big stage, one person with a microphone and many people listening. We say that person is speaking. When the moment feels important or professional, speak sounds natural. If you say, the president will talk tonight, it is not wrong, but speak sounds more formal and more appropriate. So in meetings, presentations, speeches, and official events, speak is usually the better choice. Third, We often use speak to someone when the situation feels formal or serious. For example, I need to speak to you. Can I speak with the doctor? Or may I speak to the manager? These sentences often feel important. Imagine your boss says, I need to speak to you. How do you feel? Maybe your heart beats a little faster because speak can feel serious. It can mean something important is coming. Now compare that with, can we talk? That sounds softer, more personal, and less official. Both can be correct, but the emotional tone is different. When the situation feels formal, professional, or serious, speak to someone is very common. Fourth, we use speak about a topic in a structured way. For example, he spoke about his experience. She is speaking about the new project, or the teacher will speak about safety rules. In these sentences, one person is sharing information. It feels organized and planned. This is not just a free conversation. It is more like explaining or presenting. When someone is giving information to a group, speak often fits better than talk. So let's summarize the feeling of speak. We use speak for languages, formal moments, important conversations, presentations, and public speaking. It feels focused. It feels clear. Sometimes it feels serious. When you want your sentence to sound more professional or structured, speak is often the right choice. When to use talk. Now, let's relax a little. Talk feels warmer. Talk feels more human. First, we use talk with someone when two people are sharing. For example, I talked with my friend last night. We talked for hours. Or simply, let's talk. This feels equal. It is back and forth. You speak, I listen. Then I speak, you listen. This is a conversation. When you imagine friends, family, or close coworkers sharing ideas, talk is very natural. If you say, I spoke with my friend for 3 hours, it is correct, but talked with my friend sounds more relaxed and friendly. Second, we use talk about something in a casual way. For example, we talked about our childhood. They are talking about the game, or let's talk about your goals. This is not a speech. It is not one person standing and presenting. It is sharing ideas. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, maybe you laugh. When the discussion feels open and casual, talk about is very common. Third, we use talk for phone conversations. For example, I talked to my mom. Can we talk later? Or I will talk to you after work. In daily life, when we describe phone conversations, talk is very common. It feels natural and simple. Fourth, we use the expression small talk to describe light, friendly conversation. Small talk is when you talk about the weather, the weekend, or daily life. It is not deep and not serious. It is just polite conversation. If you meet someone at work and say, nice weather today, that is small talk.
We do not say small speak.
We say small talk. Now, let's summarize the feeling of talk. We use talk for friendly conversations, daily life situations, sharing ideas, back and forth communication, and casual topics. It feels open. It feels human. It feels comfortable. When the situation feels relaxed and equal, talk is usually the better word. So, as you move forward in your English journey, remember this simple idea. Speak often sounds more formal, more structured, and more serious. Talk often sounds more friendly, more relaxed, and more personal. You do not need to be perfect every time. Even native speakers use them in flexible ways. But if you understand the feeling behind each word, your English will sound more natural. And most importantly, you will feel more confident when you open your mouth and start to speak, or simply start to talk. Speak to and talk to. The important detail. This is the part where many learners start to worry. Speak to someone, talk to someone. You look at these two phrases and think, are they different? Are they the same? What if I choose the wrong one?
First, take a deep breath.
In many daily situations, both are correct. Yes, really. You can say, I spoke to my teacher, or I talked to my teacher. Both sentences are grammatically correct, but the feeling can change, and this is what many learners do not learn in grammar books. English is emotional. Let's look at two simple sentences. I need to speak to you. Can we talk? They look similar, but they feel different. I need to speak to you sounds serious. It sounds important. It may sound formal. Sometimes it even sounds a little scary. Now listen to this one. Can we talk? It feels softer, more emotional, more personal. It sounds like someone wants to share feelings, not just information. Now imagine a couple at home. One person says, can we talk tonight? That sounds gentle. It sounds like they want connection. Maybe they want to share something from the heart. Now imagine the same person says, I need to speak to you. That feels more formal, maybe tense, maybe something serious happened. The grammar level is the same, but the emotional weight is different. Here is another example. If a manager says, I need to speak to you in my office, it sounds official. If a friend says, hey, can we talk for a minute? It sounds friendly. Again, both are correct, but speak often carries more authority, while talk often carries more emotion. In professional settings, speak to is very common. In personal settings, talk to feels warmer. But remember, this is not a strict rule. It is about tone and feeling. The more you listen to real English, the more you will start to feel this difference naturally. And that is the goal, not memorizing rules, but feeling the language. Common mistakes. Now let's talk about some common mistakes, not to make you afraid, but to make you more confident. Common mistake number 1. I talk English. This is very common, but the correct sentence is, I speak English. Why? Because when we talk about languages, we use speak. We say, I speak English. She speaks French. Do you speak Korean? So remember this clearly. Languages go with speak. That is one simple rule you can trust. Common mistake number 2 is using speak in very friendly moments. For example, I spoke with my friend for 3 hours. Is this wrong? No, it is correct, but it sounds slightly more formal. In daily life, native speakers often say, I talked with my friend for 3 hours. Talk feels more natural and relaxed when you describe a long, friendly conversation. So if you are sharing a casual story about your weekend, talk often sounds better. But do not panic if you say spoke. People will still understand you. Common mistake number 3 is avoiding both words because of fear. This is the biggest problem. Some learners start a sentence and then stop. They say, yesterday I, because they are thinking, speak or talk, and then they become silent. That silence is worse than a small mistake. If you say, I talk English very good, is that perfect English?
No.
But do we understand you?
Yes.
We understand your meaning. Communication comes first. Correction comes later. Language is for connection. If your message is clear, you are already successful. So, do not let a small word stop your voice. Make the sentence, say it, keep going. You can always improve later. Connect it to your English journey. Now let's connect speak and talk to your real English life. You speak English, that is your skill. It means you have the ability. You studied, you practiced, you learned vocabulary, you listened, you tried. That is powerful. But you talk with people in English. That is your growth. Speaking is the skill. Talking is the action. You speak when you present in class, during a job interview, or at a meeting. But you talk when you share your story with a friend, when you laugh with a classmate, when you explain your day to someone. If you want to feel more confident, start by talking, not by speaking perfectly. Talk with friends. Talk with classmates. Talk with your family in simple English. And yes, even talk with yourself. You can talk out loud in your room. Describe your day. Talk about what you are doing. Talk about your plans. At first, it may feel strange, but confidence grows through action. Later, when you need to be more formal, you will speak in meetings, you will speak in interviews, you will speak in public. But that confidence begins with small talk, small conversations, small brave moments. Confidence does not appear in one day. It grows from many small talks over time. Mini practice section. Now, let's practice together. Say these sentences out loud. Do not just listen, use your voice. I speak English every day. I talked with my friend yesterday. I need to speak to my manager tomorrow. Let's talk about your dream. She speaks very clearly. We talked for 2 hours. Say them slowly and feel the difference. When you say speak, notice the focus. When you say talk, notice the warmth. No stress, no pressure, just rhythm. English has music. When you repeat sentences like this, your brain starts to recognize patterns and slowly you stop translating. You just speak. You just talk. Let's finish with something simple and powerful. Remember this. Speak is about ability and formal moments. Talk is about connection and daily life. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to start. The more you talk, the more confident you will feel when you speak. And one day, you will notice something beautiful. You will start a sentence and you will not stop to think. The word will come naturally because you stopped being afraid. If this episode helped you feel more clear and more confident, please like this video and subscribe to Learn English Podcast 360. We are not here to make English difficult. We are here to make it part of your real life. And remember this, you do not need perfect English to talk. You just need the courage to start. See you in the next episode.